Amy of Quito Quilts. I live in Quito, Ecuador. I've lived here for 13 years. Two things I love to talk about, Ecuador and quilting. So let's get to it. Ecuador doesn't have a large quilting community, but you know, it's slowly increasing. I'm one of only 2 long armers in the whole country. I'm the only one that does it for clients, and I'm starting to get quilts from all over the country, from the coast, from a city called Cuenca, from here in Quito. So yes, Ecuador is an amazing country. It's this tiny little country in between Peru and Colombia. We have a long, rich history of weaving, also some embroidery, but no quilting. And so we have one fabric store in the whole country that sells imported quilting cotton. And then, I mean, of course we have other fabric stores, but mostly they are for making clothes. But you know, as a quilter, you get resourceful, you make it work. One other thing I love about Ecuador is our geography. As you can see behind me, this is my view. That's the Andes Mountains. It's a beautiful view. Ecuador also owns the Galapagos Islands. We have the Amazon rainforest, and we have the coast with some beautiful beaches. So yeah, I also teach at a university, and I'm teaching the very first quilting class at a university in the textile arts department, and it's going great. So let's hear from those students. So this is the first university quilting class in Ecuador. Super cool. We are in the weaving classroom, and as you can see, my students are working hard. And let's see what they're working on. Ask them some questions. Fernanda, what do you like about quilting?
I like that I learned how to do EPP, as you can see. And I'm working on this quilt for a baby as a present.
Nice. Maria Clara, what do you like about quilting?
I love the liberty, the creative liberty that we have on this video. Like for example, I'm making this quilt for my home, but I'm also adding like my personal touch to it.
Santiago, what do you like about quilting?
I enjoy the peace it brings and how kind of straightforward it is. Maybe stitching is not my thing yet, but I'm trying to learn, and using the long arm machines having fun.
Yes. Hi, I'm in Quito, Ecuador, standing in front of Gafete y Corchete, which means hook and eye. It's the only store in all of Ecuador that sells 100% quilting cotton that's imported from the United States. Let's check it out. Let's check out the quilting cotton. So we have 2 rows of 100% quilting cotton from the United States. It is QT Fabrics. Let's check out the quilting notions that they sell here. As we all know, quilting can be an expensive hobby. It's especially expensive here in Ecuador though, because we have a 42% import tax. But we love to quilt, so quilting is up and coming here in Ecuador, and it's really cool to be part of that. There are a lot of retired expats from the United States and Canada that moved to Ecuador, and they are like passing along their knowledge as well. I found out that there's some quilting classes in a couple other cities, and that's just so cool to spread the love of quilting. So thanks for coming along on my little ride of quilting in Ecuador. And if you'd like to hear more, I'd love to talk about Ecuador and quilting, especially long arm quilting, on my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I am Quito Quilts. Thanks a bunch.
Hi everyone, I'm excited to be here with you today. My name is Lucy Allen and I'm a Grace Ambassador in Australia. Today I'd like to share with you some of my thoughts on what makes quilting in Australia unique. One of the first things that sort of springs to mind is the influence of our Indigenous Australians. Australian quilting often incorporates the rich traditions and designs of the First Nations Australians. Aboriginal designs are usually characterised by their dot painting techniques. They use really vibrant colours, lots of storytells. That's what we call Dreamtime. Frequently appear in a lot of our Australian fabrics here. The other thing that came to mind was our very diverse landscape here, and of course our fauna and flora. It's very, very different, and it's extremely inspirational. And you can go somewhere to a quilt exhibition. I'm sure you've seen an Australian quilt and oh, that's got to be Australian, just due to the diversity of our landscape and our animals. It's really enjoyed here. Quilting is very, very big in our communities here, whether it's through a church group or a community craft group. It's a very big sense of community, sharing tips, tricks, techniques. They make a lot of quilts for our hospitals, our returned servicemen, our neonates units, and it's a very big part of what Australians do for our community. We also host some really, really wonderful festivals here. And the Australian Quilt Convention, known as AQC, is held here in Melbourne. It's one of the largest in Australasia. It's amazing for inspiration and for showcasing some of the great quilts Australians are capable of making here. We have wonderful international tutors that come out, sharing their inspiration, their tips, tricks and techniques with us. We hold the Australian Machine Quilters Festival here, designed for anything quilting. If you could think it, want to learn it, it's inspirational. It's held every 2 years here, showcases all the winners from around Australia. Traditional quilting techniques are really, really well respected here. We're a very big multicultural society here, but we do have a really strong emphasis on being innovative and trying new techniques and original designs that do stand out as being Australian. We use modern fabrics, unconventional patterns, mixed media. At quilt shows, you will find huge diversity from modern to wall art to traditional. There's a lot to offer here in Australia, and hopefully one day this might inspire some of you to come and visit us. So thank you for taking the time for watching, and happy quilting.
I started 10 years ago sewing with kids. We had a summer camp where we made our quilts. Every child during 5 days finishes a quilt and takes it home.
At first it was a little bit hard because I never did it before, but I just learned how to do it, and then it was easy.
Yes, it's easy. For children, it's easy. We usually finish quilts 80 inches to 60 inches. Such big quilts because they want to cover themselves in those quilts. We love to make it easier for children. It's the most important thing. When they are in these instructions, for example, it has got, 10 steps. I prefer to have 6 steps. My very favorite part is when it's finished and they take it home, in a hand. I got something. And they show it to their mothers when they come and pick up them. And my mothers ask, "Did you make it alone? I can't believe it." And I said, "Of course, I don't have time to finish it with 15 kids. They must do it themselves."
Education is very important, especially for a girl child. For us here in Zambia, it's very common. If a girl child doesn't complete her education, the easy thing for the parents to do is marry her off. And at a young age, it's just not right. It breaks my heart seeing a young girl getting married at an early age when she really, really wants to finish her education. A lot of girls do not feel comfortable going to school while on their periods. Myself, I wasn't able to concentrate in school because of that. Because most of the times I'll be worried to say, oh, what if I stain my clothes? What if someone sees me? It's not easy in our community buying pads, especially if we have maybe 4 or 5 girls in one household. It's very expensive. So basically what So Powerful does, we make the reusable pads for the girls. Our kit consists of panties, a soap, and the reusable pads. The women overseas, they sew the process for us that we receive here in Zambia that we use to pack the reusable pads for the girl child. It brings me great joy when I see the girls and how happy they get when I give them the reusable pads. The health training that So Powerful does, we talk about hygiene, how a girl child is supposed to keep herself, not just during her period, but on her daily basis.
So this is the top and this is the bottom, which
a lot of women, when they joined So Powerful, they had nothing to do. They had no job. A lot of them, they had no skill. And now, as they joined So Powerful, they're able to provide for their family. They're able to help other people in the community. They're able to support their children and also support their children by seeing them through school. My biggest transformation will be providing for my family. I'm the breadwinner of the family. Right now I'm supporting my mom and my other siblings as well, and also helping the girls in the community. Definitely the big transformation, because you find that everywhere I go, they'll be like, oh, madam, when are you coming to give us more reusable pads? We enjoy having them. Because of So Powerful, they're able to go to school, they do not miss their class, and they're empowered by what we're doing here.
Hello, my name is Emma and I am the owner of Au Fil d'Emma, which is the biggest quilt shop in France. So Au Fil d'Emma basically means Emma's threads, and I own this shop for 17 years now. Our shop is located in Orléans, which is 100 kilometers south from Paris. Orléans is on the Loire Valley, and we have a beautiful historic town from the Middle Age. We've got a big cathedral and very, very old house in the center town. So we are mostly online and we sell all over France, Belgium and Switzerland, because those are countries where people speak French. France used to be a textile country, but there is not a lot of company who makes their fabric in France now. It's mostly from all around the world. And here in our shop, we mostly have fabrics from the US, because in France, quilting is not a big thing. It's a hobby like many others, but almost everything we sell is from the US. We have a lot of fabric from the brand you know. We also have patterns and notions. Quilting was introduced in France in the 80s. There was a lady who opened a shop named The Rouvray in Paris. And it was an American, and she taught a lot of people how to quilt. And since then, quilting is becoming a hobby in France. Most of the guild teach hand piecing and hand sewing. And when I started 17 years ago, there wasn't any video and books about machine quilting and piecing. I was young and I hadn't any time for hand piecing and hand quilting. So I started educating people to machine quilting and machine piecing. And it's been my motto since then I make a lot of video on YouTube how to use these new techniques. Most of French quilters, they love reproduction fabrics, but I love modern stuff. So we try to get both in our shop so we can share our passion with everyone. In France, we don't have this tradition of quilt like you have in the US. So most quilters, they quilt for pleasure, just for the pleasure of sewing. And most of their quilts are not used. So they don't go and do big quilt like king size or queen size. And they like smaller projects. And also they do by hand, so it takes more time. So we try to make some smaller projects than the one you can find in the US. I was very happy to share with you how we quilt in France, and if you come in Orléans, I'll be very pleased to have you.